Hey everyone, it's Michael Goosebumps. Or Goosebumps fan, I forgot my own name. I'm stupid, I'm sorry, it's been a long day. I'm very tired today. Anyway, Michael Goosebumps fan. Today I'm going to be doing a video, a thing like Goosebumps video. And this particular video is based on another creepypasta that I read yesterday, on Friday. And this one is one that I had heard a lot about. And I think I might have even read it a long time ago. I don't think I was familiar with most of the story, especially towards the end. But the beginning sounded familiar to me. I might have listened to like an audiobook version or something at some point on YouTube by like Mr. Creepypasta or somebody. Anyway, this is called the Russian Sleep Experiment. And it's petrifying. And there's also a picture that is pretty much always attached to this story. So if you go looking for this story, especially on the link that I'm going to provide down below, I've decided to start doing that, by the way, where when I talk about creepypastas, I'll post the link to where you can get a safe website to watch this on, or to read it on. And if you go to that link down there, more than likely you're going to find this photo. And it's petrifying. Just the creepy, grinning, smiling, zombie-like guy is just horrifically looking. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, be cautious what you look for when you look for the Russian sleep experiment. Now, of course, the Russian sleep experiment is kind of based on this potential rumor, myth, I'm not really sure if it's true or not, thing, but of course this is a fictionalized version of that. Now, in World War II, that's where this story is actually taking place. It's kind of a shorter story, too. It's kind of a longer creepypasta, but that means kind of a shorter story. I would say like maybe a 4-page story, maybe. And it's super creepy, dude. It is just an unnerving, gross, definitely bloody type of story. So it's not going to be for everybody. I don't recommend the story for younger viewers unless you're somebody who's a little bit more mature and you can handle this kind of stuff, or you're just used to this kind of entertainment, if you want to call it that. I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was very creepy, very, very spooky, very unnerving, and I relate it to Goosebumps because, again, I've said over and over again, I like to justify this by saying that this is today's generation's Goosebumps. You know, what we talked about that came out 20, 30 years ago, this is what these kids are going to be talking about 20 years from now, and it's worth talking about, I think, because creepypasta had a big effect on the internet. I mean, look at Momo. That one creepy picture ended up everywhere, and all kinds of rumors surrounding it, all kinds of just terrifying things about that terrifying picture. Creepypasta should be respected in that regard, no matter how poorly written a lot of it is. The Russian sleep experiment, in my opinion, is not poorly written. It's not a great story. It's kind of almost written like an article for like a website type thing, but not really at the same time. I find it completely fascinating. I think the ending is just really unnerving. It's a very, very dark story. And I know I use the word dark a lot on my channel, but when I'm saying, like, this is a dark creepypasta, this is really dark. A lot like Candle Cove. And it, again, very, very bloody story. It is not just some clean-cut, spooky Twilight Zone type thing like Candle Cove was. And I think that's what adds to it. This is a story that I think that the gore is justified for what is happening in here. To get kind of the story, again, this is taking place at World War II. Basically, a bunch of Russian scientists decide that they're going to hold 5 prisoners of war, I'm assuming American more than likely, in a situation where they have to stay awake for like a month, right? A month without sleep. That is unheard of. And at the same time, while they have them trapped in this one room, these 5 people, they also release this gas into the room itself. And some weird stuff starts happening with these people. We don't know if it's caused by the gas or insanity or anything. Just the sleep problems, like where they're supposed to stay awake. How are these people keeping themselves awake? Just different stuff like that. And it becomes such a horrific scenario. Just absolutely terrifying. Again, it's kind of based on true events, maybe possibly, but it's not like this is what happened. This is a very fictionalized version, whether it was real or not. It was gruesome, as all be it, but it was is a pretty wild story, man, I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm trying not to tell you too much, because it is a relatively short story, but I think it's worth reading. I think if you love Goosebumps, I think if you love scary stories in general, this one is a good one. A really, really, really good, creepy one that's going to get to you and get under your skin, specifically. Probably the best terminology to use is it's going to get under your skin. You may not sleep that particular night because of what you read here. Some of the imagery is so terrifying, and the surgery scene, which is not really a spoiler, but I won't tell you too much about that. I'll just say the surgery scene, for anybody who has read the story itself or heard it on a YouTube audio type thing, that is one of the most unnerving, horrific things I've ever read in my life. And the ending is not spectacular. I would say it is satisfying for what the story is and how it's written. Again, it feels like an article off of like a website or a magazine. I like the story a lot. I could see why people wouldn't love it. It's very good, very creepy. It gets the job done about being spooky. The author is not known, from what I could tell online. I recommend it. It's a good story. That's really all I have to say about it. What would I rate the Russian sleep experiment? I don't really think there's anything I would change or cut out of the story. You know, it was really creepy. The punctuation stuff is kind of something I just throw off to the side because it's creepypasta. It's online fan fiction type stuff. If it's not a fandom type thing, it's just its own thing. You know, its own fan creation type stuff. I recommend it a lot. If I had to rate it on a 5-star basis, I would probably give this probably a high 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really, really like the story and love the story, I would say. It's just unnerving, you know. But I find things like Candle Cove and like Anansi, I think is what it's called, Anansi's Goatman story, which I also reviewed here on the channel just the other night. I find those a lot scarier than this. Those are like the impeccable top-tier stories you could find from creepypasta, in my opinion, at the current moment. This is mostly serviceable for what it is. It's not too long, it's fine, it's very well done, very well rounded, and it's unnerving altogether. I recommend it for that. Again, it's very gruesome, too, so if you're into that, that's here too. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the Russian sleep experiment story creepypasta more than the actual real-life thing, if it happened? I would love to hear your thoughts down below, guys, about this particular little short story, because it's fascinating. I love hearing people's reactions to this. It's a wonder why there's not like a film based on this, like a Slender Man type thing that's actually well done and not like Slender Man apparently. I haven't seen Slender Man, but I've heard that it's crap, so I might check it out, I might not. I don't know, I might have a good time watching a piece of crap. I like films that are bad. You know, I do. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Put them down below, guys. Thank you for watching and sticking through this weird, rambly review. Anyway, may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.